Hello everyone, this is Dr. Renuka. Welcome you again on this channel. I know student that you are eagerly waiting for the video which I am bringing for you on the different topics which you find that it is very beneficial for you. Today again I have bring for you a different thing which is very essential to know as a student of management. Here you can see that I have bring for you a important video which is based on the contribution of Henry Fayol in development of management thought. Student, the contribution of Henry Fayol in development of management thought, to know this is very essential. Before to go to the contribution directly, we'll see who is Henry Fayol. Here, Henry Fayol, we must know that he is a very eminent personality which gave us a lots of things regarding to management. His birth date was 19th July 1841. His date of death is 19 November 1925. His full name was Jules Henry Fayol, and he is well known for worldwide. He is well known for Fayolism. What is this Fayolism? The next slide we'll see what this is called as a Fayolism. This Henry Fayol, this personality is known as father of management theory, and he is also famous for the books he has wrote for management, and the title of that books are General and Industrial Management, and the second one is Henry Fayol's Classic General and Industrial Management. Students, here in short you can see what is the contribution of Henry Fayol. He has developed a general theory for business administration, and that is often called as Fayolism. Means because of this contribution he is known as Fayolism. He was a French, he belongs from the France, and first of all in his initial time he worked as an engineer in a French mining company. After some time, because of his talent, he has get promoted as a mining executive, and then after some time he worked there in that same mine as a director of that mining company. He was also an author because he has wrote two important books on the basis of management. He has bring for us the principles which is worldwide accepted not only in business organization but for the non-profit making agents, non-profit making organization, by hospitals and different types of businesses. Henry Fayol bring us the different functions of management. What are that different functions? He has brought planning, organizing, staffing, commanding, coordinating and controlling as a basic functions of management. Okay, and with this he has bring 14 principle of management which I have earlier discussed with you. Here again the short story of Henry Fayol has given that his life period was during 1841 to 1925. He is known for his modern theory, and that's why he is called as a father of modern theory. He brings 14 principles of management, and the book he has written that is well known as General and Industrial Administration. This book he has first of all wrote in French, but later, after his death in 1930, he get translated into English and get available to the people finding for the management thought or theory. Okay, here another 2 points I have given, that he was a founder for management theory. His analysis of management process act as the foundation of the whole management theory, and the present superstructure of management has been built on it. It means that on the basis of the Henry Fayol's management theory, different type of theories get arise by number of management thinkers. He developed 14 principles of management out of his practical experience. Means he was not only the writer based on the imagination, he practically did that things, and on the basis of the practical experience he brought that 14 principles, and these principles are universally accepted. These principles has universally accepted, and everybody know the meaning and significance of these principles. Now in next slide you can see that he has brought the management functions. What management functions? The management functions like planning, organizing, staffing, leading, coordinating and controlling. Here students, these principles has get accepted by whom? Not only the business organization but by colleges, hospitals, charitable institutions and the government departments. Here student, you can once again see the speciality of this thinker and the contribution he has made for the management development. Students, here the main thing which I would like to tell you, and that things are principle of management which the Fayols bring for us. Here you can see we have 14 principles given by the Fayols. That principles I have listed over here. These principles are division of work, authority and responsibility, discipline, unity of command, unity of direction, subordination of individual interest, then remuneration, centralization, scalar chain, order, equity, stability, initiative, and the 14th one is spirit the corps. Here latter we are going one by one by the meaning of these principle. The first principle is division of work. What exactly Henry Fayol wants to tell us with this principle? Basically, Henry Fayol believed that the segregation of work would benefit to the business, because on the basis of the segregation the work will get allocated with the different workers on the basis of their quality, on their skills. It means on the basis of their qualities, their skills, their efficiency, the worker will happily perform their responsibilities in an accurate way, and they will perform their duties in a short period. It means there will not be an wastage of time. It means on the basis of good division of work, the appropriate or the expected result management can bring from the workers. The second principle is what? The second principle is authority and responsibility. Students, we all know that if we are giving authority to an person. Simultaneously, the person should have some responsibility. Or vice versa, we can say that if one has an responsibility, he should have some right, some authority to perform that responsibility. Here, Henry Fayol said that these are the two key aspects of management. These are the two key aspects of management. Authority facilitates the management to work efficiently, and the responsibility makes them responsible the work done under their guidance or leadership. Okay, so the responsibility and authority are two key aspects which should be there in management. The third principle is discipline. There should have some sort of discipline, because without discipline nothing can be accomplished. It is the core value, it is the vital value for any project, for any task or any management. For good performance, the sensible interrelation make the management job easy and comprehensive. With good discipline, culture of management, employee will behave good, and it would help for the smoothie operations of the business or the professional career. So there should have some sort of discipline culture in the management. This is the third principle. Next principle is unity of command. What exactly mean by unity of command? This means an employee should have only one boss, and they should have to follow his command. What happen if an employee have number of boss, number of orders or number of command? If an employee has to follow more than one boss, there begins a conflict of the interest and can create confusion among the workers, among the followers. That confusion will be to whom he should have to exactly obey. So, to avoid such sort of confusion or conflict, there should have a principle, that is unity of command. Next principle is unity of direction. What exactly mean by unity of direction? Whoever is engaged in the same activity should have a unified goal. This exactly means that all the persons working in a company should have one goal and one motive, which will make the work easier and achieve the set goal easily. Means an worker or a person working in the organization should be focused toward his goal, toward his motive. If he has getting distraction, he will not be able to focus their goal and to focus their motive, and will not get success at all. So, unity of direction is also important to be a success management. Sixth principle is subordination of individual interest. Here, as a human being, a worker or personnel working in the organization might have some individual interest, but individual human being or the personnel working in the management firm should subordinate this, should surrender this individual interest for obtaining the management goal as a whole. This indicates a company should work untedly towards the interest of a company rather than personal interest. Be subordinate to the purpose of an organization. This refers to the whole chain of command in a company. So, the subordination of individual interest. This principle is also very important to the successful management. The next one is remuneration. Actually, the remuneration plays a very important role, where this plays a very important role while motivating to the worker to do a specific task in a company. Remuneration can be monetary or non-monetary. It not necessary that the remuneration should have only the monetary term. The remuneration can be in non-monetary format. However, it should be according to the individual's efforts they have made. Means one should have to fix the remuneration only on the basis of the efforts taken by the individual to perform their duties and to obtain the management goal. Our next principle is centralization. What is centralization? In any company, the management or any authority responsible for the decision making process, and that decision making process should be neutral. However, this depends on the size of an organization. Here, Henry Fayol stressed on the point that there should be a balance between the hierarchy and the division of power. Means, as per Henry Fayol's opinion, there should have some centralization. There should be centralization for policy making. But with this regard, he has also told here that there should have been a hierarchy to take appropriate decision on any level of business. And so, as per this hierarchy, the division of power should also be there. That exactly mean by centralization as per the Henry Fayol's view. The ninth principle is scalar chain. Here the one principle highlights that the hierarchy step should be from top to the lowest. This is necessary so that every employee know their immediate senior. Also, they should be able to contact any if needed. It means that the personnel working in the organization should have idea about his immediate authority. If he has any grievance, if he has any query regarding to performing his duty, if he has any problem or any query, he should have immediate contact with his immediate boss. So, the chain of authority is here called a scalar chain. This principle is also important in management. The next principle is order. What exactly mean by order? A company should maintain a well-defined work order to have a favorable work culture. The positive atmosphere in the workplace will boost more positive productivity. Here, student, try to understand what exactly mean by order. Order means the well-defined work order. There should have some operating system or standard operating system. Now the word standard operating system, that is SOP, is used in this line, that is order. There should have some SOP to perform each and every function in management. This SOP or this right order brings positive atmosphere. This create positive atmosphere in the workplace, and this by default boost the productivity of the workers. Our next principle is equity. What is meant by equity? Equity means uniformity, similarity. What equity exactly mean in management? All the employees should be treated equally and respectfully. It's the responsibility of a manager that no employee face discrimination. Means there should have some sort of equity, or we can say that there should not have any type of discrimination on the basis of the earning, on the basis of the job role. Here we must understand that the workers working in the organization, maybe the worker working in the organization at the operational level, or they might worked as a management level, as a middle level management, or if he is working as a top level management level, there should not have any sort of discrimination regarding to the respect they should have. Everybody should get same sort of respect from the management, and this respect they should have only on the basis of the duty he is performing. The 12th principle is stability. What exactly mean by stability? How the worker can perform his duty in a smooth way. An employee deliver the best if he feels secure in their job. If he feel that this working organization, I am a part of this working organization, and he feel that this jobs gives me safety, then and then only the employee could deliver their best. It is the duty of the management. It is the duty of the management to offer job security to their employee. Here, student, the stability can come with the security of job. And here, the security means the security is for the physical. The security can be there by getting regular remuneration, or the security may be on the basis of the continuous employment available for the employee. This type of stability, if the employee have in organization, he can perform well by a feeling of an attachment. Students, the 13th principle, this is the second last principle given by Henry Fayol, and this principle is initiative. What is meant by initiative? Initiative, here Henry Fayol's view, management should support and encourage the employees to take initiative in an organization. Means there should not have any discrimination in between the workers to take initiative. If an employee have some good ideas, if an employee should have some good plans, and if he want to implement that good plans, he want to share his opinion with the management, management should support that personnel, that employee. They should support and encourage that employee to take initiative. It will help them to increase their interest and make them worth. So, the initiative which is taken by the worker with the support of the authority is very important. And the 14th and the last principle is esprit de corps. What is this esprit de corps? This looks as an different words, different term. What is meant by esprit de corps? It is the responsibility of the management to regularly motivate their employees and be supportive of each other Developing trust and mutual understanding will lead to a positive outcome and work environment. This term has bring from French, and it means that the management has a duty to regularly motivate their employee and to support them to perform their duties. And in another way, he can develop trust and mutual understanding which will lead them to a positive outcome and which will create again an good work environment where everybody can perform at their optimum level. Here students, we have completed the 14th principle of Henry Fayol with his overall contribution to the management. With this, I am concluding this video, but I would request you all, if you have not still subscribed this channel, please subscribe this, share this to all, and if you like this, press the like button. Thank you all. Thank you once again.